I don't understand.
So
the first one doesn't fit into the series at all.
What? The first
Independence Day.
What are you talking about? Independence Day.
Independence Day doesn't fit into Aliens at all.
Wasn't there?
No.
No.
I need to watch Independence Day. But
either way, the movie's dope.
Were you ready to watch this?
Yeah, Ken started that a while ago.
Oh, we've been recording for 4.5 minutes.
Ken started it when you were talking about Independence Day.
Yeah. That was recorded? Oh, thank God. Oh, that's...
We've been recording for 4.5 minutes.
That'll go right at the beginning.
Dude, that goes in like one of the best conspiracy theories I've heard all year. Independence Day and aliens. They're one.
It's in the same thing. I was like, wait, you were serious about that?
Yes, I was.
No, Alien and Predator have at least a link.
They make love to each
other. Oh, that's an... Because doesn't Alien...
versus Predator.
Doesn't AVP happen, like, on Earth?
Yeah, AVP happens in Antarctica.
So...
Who do you think would win, the Blob?
Who's traveling through time? And how do they have the aliens? And
no, they were buried underneath there in an old Predator worshipping place that gets hacked. In an old temple that the Predators had.
So, but... How does that work? Like, so how advanced were we?
The Predators have been coming to our world for years, treating us like cattle.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it's like, how did Alien happen, though? Because you're right, wouldn't Alien have to have come back in time? Or is that when they say that, hey, there's an alien queen, and, like, that's what I mean? Like, wasn't there, like, that huge thing where, like, these...
because that's the problem with Alien versus Predator is... They don't have a timeline.
I think you can.
It's like all the Predator movies; they don't fix together well.
Well, and I guess maybe that, but the xenomorph as we know it
is in the future.
Right, is in the future.
If you're going with the newest movie of Alien Covenant, that's basically what it's telling you, because it's eliminating the past of Alien versus Predator and Requiem. And all the garbage movies that people declare garbage, which they're not.
But do you think it makes for a better storyline?
No, because Ridley Scott he's tried to make them headier than they should be.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem with what he's doing to those movies. I like Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I just think that if you're trying to connect them with all of the movies, it doesn't work. Because Alien Covenant, like Prometheus ends with them going on the ship that crashes that they find in Alien.
Yeah.
So you're like, cool, that's the ship, it's going to crash, and then that's where that starts. But then we go to Alien Covenant, and that's where this movie goes wonky, where Michael gets off the planet and takes the aliens with him and is going to infect this colony.
And he, like, obliterates them. Do you remember doesn't he go to, like...
He obliterated the one alien.
The one species.
No, the one alien that was there, he took it with him.
Yeah, but no, doesn't he go to another planet and, like, shoot torpedoes down at a planet full of, like, other, like, sentient beings, like these...
he goes back to the creators and he blows up the creators.
The implication is
but that's the planet that he's on.
Oh, okay.
That was the planet that he's on in Covenant, because that happens in between Covenant and Prometheus. Because Naomi Rapace is still alive, and that's when he starts experimenting on her.
Yeah, and she doesn't know.
And she doesn't know that she's being experimented on by Michael.
So she's the original mother.
To a point. That's where those creatures that's why the aliens in the start of the movie are just a tad bit different than the black one.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I think I finally figured it out. And then that's when the big egg, and I forget what his name is, that guy that's always in everything but you never know his name. He gets the alien face hugger, and that's when it comes out. And all that.
The guy that's always in everything.
Yeah, always in everything, but never says anything. I'll tell you his name
if you just give me a second.
We go more into it.
Because I wasn't planning on having Covenant information in my head.
Cool.
I'm currently on Species, which is when we were looking at
Alien Covenant.
Billy Cudrup.
Oh, there you're gonna say Billy Zane.
Yeah,
he's in. Let me see everything. But you never know his name.
He's Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, he's in everything.
Oh, yeah. I was what?
I could totally. If I had known that's who you're talking about, I would have.
He's Barry Allen's dad in the Justice League movie.
Yeah, yep.
We should probably actually start and introduce and.
Are you being a little salty because we're having a conversation?
Yeah, what you doing,
Mr. Independence Day?
Get on that.
Mr. I gotta cut this.
Elijah here on the Posterman Podcast. Mid-discussion about alien chronology.
I'm Ken. Hello.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Lewis.
9 minutes, Tyler.
Oh my god.
At the 9-minute mark.
At the 9-minute mark, that's when we actually...
You should just cut in. You should just cut in at the beginning.
We should get like a Seinfeld theme opening. That's like that. But you have to have like a live orchestra because every episode that they recorded was always like done in time with it to hit the jokes.
It's like the Amish. They don't believe in electricity. This movie should have been called David Bowie's Dick.
Magical knowledge pops into my head and I learn how to do things that I couldn't have even imagined how to do before.
So you're gonna have to start doing that. You're gonna be like ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
But I have a counter that tells me the time frame. So,
but the back to the chronology. The only ones that make sense timeline-wise is Alien to Alien Resurrection, because it just Ripley's the only thing that matters. So.
Dude, Sigourney Weaver gets crazier and crazier. She's kind of hot, though.
I love Ripley.
Believe it or
but
not.
we did Alien. So, Ken, plot synopsis, cast list. Tell us who the seven
After
are.
a space merchant vessel receives an unknown transmission as a distress call, one of the crew is attacked by a mysterious life form, and they soon realize that its life cycle has merely begun.
That is a silly sort of plot synopsis.
It is a silly sort of plot synopsis, you're right. Starring in IMDb order, Tom Skerritt as Dallas.
Did you know this was offered to Harrison Ford first?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Did he just think it was dumb or like what? Like
I don't know. It just said on the IMDb he turned it down. He turned down being Dallas. I'm assuming because he wasn't the hero.
Sigourney Weaver as Ripley. Veronica Cartwright as Lambert. Harry Dean Stanton as Brett. John Hurt as Kane. Ian Holm as Ash. Yaphet Kato as Parker.
That's all that's important.
And a name I cannot pronounce as the alien. And Helen Horton as Mother.
Alright, I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
Bolaji Badejo. So it's BOLAJI
BADE.
Badejo.
Oh.
Bolaji Badejo. I mean, he could have been Spanish.
He could have.
So the
last name
Badejo.
very...
To the IMDb. Let's find out.
This movie's great.
Did they say what the actual name of the cat was?
Born
The actual name of the cat? Doesn't matter.
in Lagos, Nigeria. He's Nigerian.
Isn't there a thing about the cat? Like,
there's a children's book about the cat.
Dude. Yo.
Jones, the cat?
Yeah.
yeah.
How old was Sigourney Weaver when she filmed this? Because wasn't this like her big role?
Let's math.
I was about to say, Ken, you have it up.
Do it, Ken.
I'm still back on
Do
Alien
it,
Covenant.
Ken. Do math because I cannot.
Hang on, I gotta get to
I assume she also became like a sex icon after this, like a sex symbol.
No.
Really?
No, Sigourney Weaver has always been kind of an empowering figure, at least in my estimation. She has been born in 49, 79, she was 30.
She was 30?
29
She
or
was
30.
the dirty 30 in here?
She was 29 or 30 when this film was made.
I mean, I don't want to sound...
I would have thought she was younger than that.
Yo, she looks great for her age.
Yes, she does. As a person that's actually met Sigourney Weaver, yes. And couldn't speak a word of English to her, yes.
Because that's Elijah's
that's
way.
Why, you were just so like...
Well,
He gets
Ripley's
starstruck.
great.
He gets starstruck.
It's because Ripley's
It's cute.
great.
It's very evident in an interview we did.
Shut up.
I wish
Please, is it online?
Elijah,
Is it online?
It's in our podcast.
He interviewed
a
you.
celebrity.
What was this?
Garman.
Yeah, we
Ralph
did.
Garman.
I didn't know this.
Sharktopus. Go back and listen to the Sharktopus episode.
It's in there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's fucking
I wish
awesome.
I was
back
here
and
to calm him down or something. At one point, I was like, Ken, please take over.
That is.
Elijah was doing very well. What are you talking about? Elijah, you did great.
What episode? What episode
I
was
believe
this?
in you. Sharktopus!
What episode number?
Looking at the episode.
The hell if I know? We had a bunch.
We have over 130.
I know we have over 100.
It was during when you were
Traveling?
free falling from
118.
towers.
118?
It was a while ago.
Oh no, not 118. 116. 118. I looked for the first name in it, and it says Jason Statham Shark Butcher. I don't know why. I was like, oops, it's two after that.
I still kind of want to watch Lavalantula.
We should watch Lava Land at some point.
Anyways, back to Alien.
Back to Alien, not back to our old podcasts.
We're having a real hard time getting this thing going.
Well, that's because I can talk about Alien forever. I could talk about all the Alien movies. Like, me writing notes for this movie was hard because all I want to do is be like, it's good.
It's good.
And then be like, I love it, and I'm going to watch it.
That's what I said about Ridiculous 6.
Well, that's because you don't know how to write stuff down or review or discuss. You're like, movies are on the TV. This movie has one of my favorite opening title sequences with just putting the names, then it slowly spells out Alien in lines at the top of the movie, and then the music is great. I have that also on my iPad.
I thought for a movie in 1979, like almost early 80s, like that was all really good.
Oh, the set design, everything is great.
The costume design is.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the newest one.
I know. I know.
I'm just here to help Lewis.
Thank you. I don't need your help.
And then it brings up all the information you currently need to know. This is the Nostromo. It has a crew of 7. What it was doing was carrying 20,000 tons of mineral ore, and it's on its way back to Earth.
Done.
That is currently what you need to know about what is happening.
It is important to remember there's a crew of 7. Not important, but it helps.
It helps
to
keep
know.
track. Technically 8 if you count Jones the cat.
Bilbo has a gun.
I don't count the cat.
I count Jones the cat who dooms everybody.
I feel like the guy who plays Bilbo Baggins has
Ian
looked
Holm?
he has looked the same his entire. Like I feel like a man has not aged at all.
Did Ian Holmes die? I felt like he did.
Bilbo?
Yeah. I was about to say. I'm sure
Yeah, he did. He literally just died. June 19th,
Yeah.
2020, bro.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Fuck.
Because Rona and everything else in the world.
Yeah.
That was a sad day.
But it's just like holy shit.
I'm surprised I remember
Do we need to insert a moment of silence here too?
Sure, why
Oh wait,
not?
why am I singing the Jurassic Park theme song?
I wish.
He's gone to the big jungle.
The gates open.
Okay.
And then inside there's just Brontosaurus.
There's just He-Man on his tiger.
That's it.
Welcome.
it.
Welcome to heaven.
That's gonna be the name of my art character.
You have the power.
Enter!
It's gonna be the name of my art character.
And then the
He-Man.
No, Ian Holm.
Ian Holmes.
Yeah.
And then
Home. Just one.
followed by the guys from Futurama. Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
It'd be funny if I watched.
Futurama.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
You should.
It's good.
quite good.
I hear that.
It's
I have a problem with watching TV.
what's the problem?
It's the same problem I have with watching movies.
You fall asleep.
That just never happens.
The silence.
He would rather play video games.
He would.
Or go outside and do other things outside.
The silence and the look of the Nostromo is great. I love this set piece. I have no more to say about the set.
Well, I mean, what else do you say? Like, oh, that looks great.
I love the.
It's a ship. I liked how massive it was. Like,
Dude, yeah, I can't imagine the budget on this.
Hang on.
Do it, Ken.
Scrolling down.
But
I'm very busy on the computer today.
I love 70s tech.
oh yeah, that was. There were parts of this movie where I'm like, this is still the 70s.
Oh yeah, you did.
I have a note here. Where did it go?
Please put in the cassette tape.
Wow, you can hear the electron gun on that CRT. That's some old stuff.
Tape over.
Artificial
'Cause you can-
intelligence.
Like you can hear it click as it changes. As it changes.
So good. I just love all the noises. I like the movie would be less creepy for like if it was made today and it had all just the regular noises of today, because just the computers working and the clicks and the beeps and all that.
It's just classic.
Yeah.
11
No,
mil.
the sound design helped that a lot.
Yeah.
11 mil estimated budget.
And then I love the shot of the computer booting up on the helmet. You can see it on the helmet.
You think it was running on Windows 95?
It's DOS. It's an old ColecoVision. That's what it was. Today we are playing Pong.
Well, it's interesting that all the screens are monochrome.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no color displays. It's all black and white.
Yeah. The fact that they even need screens is ridiculous.
Time for the crew to wake up.
That was a very long wake up sequence.
Well, they gotta wake up.
I know, but it was like just the one dude woke up and everyone just laid there.
I like how it's John Hurt. It just that's what I took from it. I'm like, oh, the first person to die is the first person that woke up.
It's just sequence.
See, I forgot the order in which people died in this movie. So
I was like, John Hurt does the greatest one take shot in the entire cinema, in my opinion. So it's a great time.
what?
Explain.
The entire chest burster scene was shot one take.
Really?
Oh, nice.
That's why the look of theirs, they literally didn't know how it was going to work. They had enough to do the one scene, and they were like, we only have like enough of this stuff to do one scene of this. So
Please
they
don't fuck up.
So they're like, so they didn't describe, like they didn't know the trajectory of the blood and stuff. So when the blood shoots off, it shoots Lambert all over the face and she screams.
That's
she's
a
literally
genuine
upset. And everyone's like, oh my god, this is so gruesome. So most of the looks on their faces
Are genuine.
legit, like, we didn't expect this.
Well, you know what's crazy is that, like, I do remember watching this movie when I was a kid. Like, you know, I think it was my sister and her husband at the time had rented this movie from Blockbuster, and they were watching it on VHS. And I remember just, like, sneaking in the back and looking and seeing that thing, and it freaking me out. And I'm always like, that's scaring me. But seeing as an adult, like, I saw this movie for the first time when I was like 18, and I was just like, this isn't scary. Like, this is pretty awesome though. But like, it's just crazy, like how what was scary back, you know, in the day compared to now.
I'm reasonably confident I was deep into adulthood before I saw this movie for the first time.
Was your beard old enough to drive then?
Well, no, because my beard is only almost old enough to drive now, so...
The first time I saw this movie was on Sci-Fi Channel when I was like 6.
Ooh, did you love it?
No. It scared me. It wasn't this one, it was Aliens.
Oh, okay.
I watched that one and I was like, oh my god, there's thousands of these things. And holy crap, they're killing the Marines. And I'm like, oh my god. And so I was like scared. And then it's one of the few movies I've ever been scared of.
Yeah.
Because it was during a phase when my brother had to watch the Sci-Fi Channel to sleep, so that's how I watched that.
I remember watching the Sci-Fi. The Sci-Fi Channel back in the day was awesome.
The Sci-Fi Channel used to play old random sci-fi
and
movies.
cartoons.
Yeah.
According to this, the director's cut is actually a minute shorter.
Oh.
What?
The IMDb says runtime 117 minutes, 1979 theatrical version, 116 minutes for the 2003 director's cut. That's all that it says.
All right. But so yeah, so it legit was one of the few movies that actually scared me, because movies just don't scare me in general. Like horror movies didn't do it for me or anything. I'm just like,
I don't like horror movies.
We should watch Saw.
I've watched all the Saws.
The only
good Saw movies too.
Saw 1 is...
Saw 1, I called it at the beginning. I said, that guy's still alive. And then they're like, no, he's not. And they stood up and they're like, how'd you know that? And I'm like, movies. Give me. I love betting on horror movies. Betting on horror movies is my favorite thing to do.
How many are there? Isn't there like Saw 6?
There's like Saw 17.
Yeah, I think the 6 was the last one I saw with you.
Okay, go on.
And
finish your story.
You just looked confused.
Did it coincide with Independence Day?
No, it did not. But that scared me. I think I looked over at Elijah at one point and said I pooped myself.
They're just tortured for it.
Saw was an interesting. The first one was very interesting to me. But back to Alien.
But yeah. So this movie has, and then it just has an irrational place in my brain. So then I watched Aliens the whole way through before I ever watched Alien. So I probably was also high school age before I watched all of the Alien movies. Like in their original versions, not on TV. Because I think I went Aliens, then Alien Resurrection. Because Alien Resurrection was on TV all the time.
Right, because that would have been the current Alien movie at the time.
It was like on TBS and TNT.
Was that the one
time.
with Ron Perlman?
Yeah, Ron Perlman
and like
Winona Ryder.
Isn't that 3?
Which is the one?
Three is the one when 3 is the one where she's in prison.
Isn't
I've
Sigourney
never actually seen
because isn't the like I'm pretty sure the last one I saw with Ripley and she was like she had Alien in her. And
that was 4.
Yeah, and she's playing that shitty game of basketball with Ron Perlman. And
Ron Perlman has his legs broken.
Okay, that was a good one. That's a good movie.
It's silly.
Yeah.
Where was I?
I don't know.
I've completely lost track of where we were in talking about.
We were in the beginning of the movie.
We were just in the beginning. They're just waking up.
Yeah.
We just said that the first guy waking up is going to be the first one dead. And then we talk about
they get a signal from some ship. That's why they woke
From
up.
somewhere. Yeah, it's an unknown.
Yep.
Regularly repeating signal.
And now there's the 2 regular Joe people are bitching that they want more money. Like, we need money. We need motivation to do what we're doing.
Yeah, but what we learn ultimately is that they are getting paid less than everyone else.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
My favorites.
To me, their complaints were totally legitimate.
Yeah, I mean.
However, they did sign up for
the contract.
Like they took the job. They didn't have to take the job.
They took an oath. They took an
Although
oath.
it could be that they took the job not knowing that they were going to get paid half of what everybody else was.
Oh well, I mean that's also being part of the being part of the military, you know.
Oh, these are military.
Yeah.
I thought
they're Weyland
No,
Yutani
they work for
employees.
Weyland Yutani. They're just collecting mineral ore.
Oh, I thought they were like former space marines.
Dude,
No.
the Marines coming too.
That's 2.
Oh.
2 is the military.
Marines coming too when they try to save the colonized place because they go back to the place with the aliens and colonize on it.
Gotcha.
Then the Marines go in there to save, and then they only save Newt.
Yeah, but I
Commander?
no, it's a little girl.
Off
Who dies
screen.
off camera.
Yeah, and then you're like, yeah, but I honestly thought that they were all. Like I thought that whole thing was like I always thought they were just
No one's military
No,
trained.
not military.
Maybe Dallas is military trained, and maybe
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a chance that some of these guys have some military background.
Yeah.
but none of them are current.
because
active.
because the weapons that they have, you know what I mean.
Well, they just have flamethrowers, really.
Yeah, but I feel like you have to have some sort of training to use a flamethrower. I mean, I don't think you could just pick one up and just.
Tell that to Ripley.
I guess you could believe it or not.
No one apparently knew how to use the flamethrowers because they couldn't kill it. So.
Well, it was also pretty. It was pretty fast.
Flamethrower.
Well, it was pretty fast. I mean, and it's and I mean, you get to think the alien is essentially like a hunter, so it probably it's already it knows how to hunt.
Yes, it has the knowledge to do that. That's why predators hunt them. So yes, because they're so tricky. I understand that. It just was. We have the flamethrowers at one point, and literally Dallas is standing there, and he doesn't shoot upwards a little bit to be like, oh. That's the only thing that really bothered me in that entire sequence. I'm like, Dallas shoots the flamethrower every other direction.
You're right,
but above him.
But
and then all of a sudden it's like.
But then you know what? Oh. I guess that's where I should have been like, well, I guess he's not military trained.
Yeah, that's where the military.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like you're right. Because I feel like if he was military, he would have checked all his angles.
But then you get Bill Pullman's character, not Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton's character in Aliens 2, who's also military trained, but goes a little hog wild and doesn't know really how to shoot.
Yeah.
Well, I feel. Well, never mind. We'll do Aliens at some point.
Yeah, Aliens will come along at some point in time, and then with a 4-hour podcast of Aliens will come along.
You're editing that.
Way to land the ship. Crash the ship. Way to go. Ripley's on her way to help. Oh, she better not come down here. I don't know what the hell she's gonna do. I just love their like snide remark.
What the fuck she gonna do down here?
What you gonna do down here? You better not get in our way.
Get down here, Ripley. What are you doing down here?
My favorite's when they turn the like steam on, and then they just keep turning it up. They're like, what? What? Like, yeah, we better get paid more. Steam. And then she goes away and they turn the steam off.
I will say...
That seemed like a pretty smooth landing, and yet the place felt like it was about to blow up as soon as they hit the ground.
I will say, like, the
Yeah,
attire...
I didn't get that.
They hit a rock. The worst part about the LG...
It would have been nice of them to show us.
Yeah, they never showed you that. The worst part about that planet is Prometheus does a good job of showing that planet very, very rocky and hilly.
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't get a good read on the bottom. So when they hit the bottom, they were like, ah.
Oh, okay.
And then, but I'm assuming that's because of the tech for the time. They were not like, here's rocky terrain. Here's this.
I guess. I mean, they are in space.
It's in the future. So
you would think that they would have.
Hey.
It is what it is, I guess.
It was in the script. That's how they had to go with.
But I will say this: every time I look at this movie and like I watch this movie, and I look at photo stills, I dig so much the '70s sci-fi like dress, like the way they styled them. You know what I mean? They look so cool. Like it made it really dope. Like just the.
Well, see, I feel like the costumes in this movie are really good because they don't feel super 70s. I don't feel like the costumes in this movie are especially dated.
I feel like it's just it just looks, it's not skin tight, like I like it, like it's very like loose, like yeah, like.
Well, yeah, because it's supposed to be like these guys
space.
are working
exactly.
These people work.
You know
so
what I mean? But
it's
it's not like now where you would watch movies and 9 times out of 10, people are in space, futuristic like astronauts have, you know what I mean, like super tight shit on, you know what I mean? So it's just like this just made it look super cool. Like they're just like, yeah, this is the style. I don't know. I really dig it.
It did win for art direction an Academy Award, so
cool.
Take what you want from that. But yeah, even through most of the other Alien movies, they do the similar outfits as you're discussing. Because if you look at Covenant, they're like James Franco's in a robe, and
yeah,
they just look more comfortable than most other sci-fi.
I forgot James Franco was in that.
He's in it for a hot minute and then dies off screen.
A lot of dying off screen.
Oh, that's right. He dies. He dies in video.
Yeah. Such a lovely planet. I think I'll stay here for the summer because it's just all windy and rocky, flying around. I'm like,
terrible place.
What lovely planet! I think I'll stay here for the
Is
summer.
that Chicago?
Wow.
You'll get whatever's coming to you. Famous last words. Because that's what Ripley says to the two guys downstairs.
Yeah.
Such an iconic imagery coming up. The ship, the space jockey, the eggs.
The eggs.
Get to the... Show me the way.
Do you have any notes before I reach more about the eggs?
Not really, no. I mean,
They look gross.
My notes are more like practically bent. So like I have a note here from not too long ago that says, so far I've taken more notes on bureaucracy than anything else. Because like I was trying to figure out the pecking order. Because like Dallas shows up and everybody's obviously sort of like Dallas is the captain. You get that. Mm-hmm. And the two working stiffs are the two working stiffs. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is kind of unclear what's going on. And
you find out Ripley is second in command.
Third.
Who's second?
I don't know. That's the fun part.
Yeah, I don't think they ever said who was second.
My initial read...
Because they said that... Oh, no, it's probably...
My initial
John
read
Hurt.
was that it was John Hurt.
Yeah.
It was Kane. But I don't really know. The only it's at the very end when she's signing off. She signs off as third officer.
They reference
so
she's
she
third
was number
also,
3
because she says when you and Kane are off the ship, I am in charge. That's why she doesn't let him in.
Oh, because they both go on the away mission.
Go on the away mission.
Okay. See, I was surprised the protocol would let Kane and like the captain and the
first and second in command go out. Yeah,
go.
I'm assuming that I don't know why they did that. That's weird. But I'm assuming that they did it because they needed the other people to repair the ship. Like Ripley showed that she knew the downstairs more with the guys than Lambert or Kane. And Kane seemed to be the other science officer with Ash.
Yeah, Ash. We know that the captain. We know that Dallas is the captain, and we know that Ash is the science officer. But we don't know where science officer falls in the bureaucratic pecking order. And like you said, at the end of the movie, we know that Ripley is third, but that's it.
Are you just gonna Google pecking order?
I'm gonna Google, not
pecking order.
I'm gonna Google order of rank in Aliens.
But yeah, so and it's not until like my initial read.
That was a poor choice of words. It just ranks the Alien movies.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. Is there more soda?
There's soda in the fridge. Yes.
That Ash was sort of.
What are you, Mario?
He's Dr. Boob. I was expecting cherry cola, and then I saw Dr. Bob, and I got pretty happy.
Sorry,
I like
continue.
See, you're welcome. I left that for you.
Thank you, sir.
Because Ash shows up, and it's because he's the most recent member. He's the most recent addition to the crew. We learn ultimately, but he's he's the one that has the HR information. Because when there was a question about, I think it was maybe the question about pay or something. He chimes in. He has that answer. Not the captain, not Kane, not Ripley, not anybody else. He has it. So I was like, oh, so he's like the company man. He's the guy that he's not necessarily the captain, but he's the company man. He's the guy.
So then, what would Ash be? Like, what rank was Ash? Then?
Ash was the science officer.
Ash was science officer.
That's but we don't. I didn't
Kane
know
is the
that.
executive officer. So I'm assuming he's
second
XO
would be second.
Yeah.
But
Lambert was the navigator.
Right.
And I have a question.
Yeah, I have that. I have Lambert is navigation, because when they get lost, Ripley's like, "Where are we?" And Lambert's like, "I'm working on it." And Ripley's like, "Yeah, look at it. You can tell it's not." She's like, "Yeah, I know." So it's obvious that Lambert's job is navigation.
No, but
or I should say, it's clear in that exchange that Lambert is navigation, but that it seems like Ripley is like the more
well-rounded.
hands-on. Yeah, like, and it could be it's one of those things where she's far enough down in the pecking order that she has to be able to fill in.
Yeah.
But not high enough on the pecking order that she gets to keep her hands clean.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying, like, so do you think, like, AIs and aliens automatically are just officers? You know what I mean?
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Like.
No, I think that he was placed there because.
Well, and they don't know that he's an android. Until they.
Yeah, they don't know.
Spoiler alert! Until they bust his head open.
I think that if you're looking at the timeline of Aliens, you can go with that androids are not looked upon well because of what happened with Michael in the Prometheus movies, that they were all hidden, but the company wanted one so they could get the aliens back. So I think they knew they were still out there, and Weyland-Yutani sent that they're out there to get the life form.
Well, Bishop in Aliens, Ripley has this natural distrust of androids because of her experience with Ash.
Yeah.
Bishop in 2, that we know that he's synthetic from the beginning.
Yeah.
And he's kind of open. He's like, yeah, they were bad models. Like, they had busted,
they were pieces of shit.
They had like corrupted logic circuits. I forget exactly what he says because it's been a while since I've seen that movie. But
and Bishop's great.
And part of the arc of that of Aliens is Ripley is Bishop winning over Ripley, and Ripley coming to trust Bishop despite the fact that he's a synthetic. It's one of the neater arcs in that movie, I think, anyway.
Because that's the problem with Covenant, is because she trusted the AI.
Yeah, she got screwed over. They had the baby in her.
No, that's Covenant. Covenant is when, at the end of the movie, literally it's the bad robot. But because the other, I forget the other Michael Fassbender in that movie, because Michael Fassbender plays two Polka.
Oh, yeah.
So they switch.
Like good Michael and bad Michael,
There's
right?
the good Michael Fassbender and the bad Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, and
then they switch because the good one, I guess, decides that the bad one should live, that the bad one's right.
How does that happen? Really?
That's because they're having conversation, they're having conversation because they're beating each other up.
Yeah, that's
and
what.
they have a conversation, and then it cuts to a different shot because the good Michael Fassbender, Walter's holding a rock to kill David, and David's like, I am what we need to be. I will do, or does something like I've watched.
No,
this
see,
movie.
I thought they fought and it cuts away.
Yeah, it cuts away, but they were having conversation about it.
And it's unclear who wins the fight. And then we come back and we're led to believe that Walter won the fight.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, that was surprising, but good. And then at the very end, you learned that it wasn't
him.
Walter.
Yeah, exactly.
It was David.
But I thought like.
I remember them having a conversation while fighting.
Oh, okay.
That I think leads me to believe that Walter's still alive on that planet, and he let David go. Because Walter finds some sort of innocence in like he finds something beautiful about the planet that's there. If memory serves me, I could be entirely wrong. Covenant's the one I've seen the least.
Yeah, I saw it the one time in theaters.
I've not seen it.
In May of 2017.
Yeah.
That was the last time. That was the first, last, and only time I saw that movie.
Nope, skis.
You should have taken the "let's get the hell out of here" idea from Lambert.
I had a "let's get the hell out of here." I like where her head's at.
Yep. Women's intuition.
I think there would be pretty steep incentive to not go investigate too far. You just go, you see, and you get the hell out.
Yeah.
Like, because
these guys, that's a big thing.
These guys were lamenting that they're not qualified. They're not getting any better compensation.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be like, oh yeah, this is something we should investigate, but we're not the ones going to do it. We're going to go back. We're going to get the hell out of here. We're going to tell the overlords, and they can come back.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like they should have gone.
They should have. Like, yo, I'm not gonna. Why would you know what I mean? Like, there's where you're like, all right, man, you're clearly doing this out of curiosity. You're complaining.
That's why I think Kane was also like a big science officer dude, like an executive, like another like a different kind of science officer.
Well, yeah, it could be that he came up. He had been a science officer before.
Because he was more intrigued with anything than anybody else in that entire thing was. Lambert wanted to get the hell out when she got in there.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I wouldn't have gone off the ship.
It was him and Dallas that were like interested in the stuff. But I think Kane was pushing it like, look, there's a hole here. I want to go down.
Drop a light.
Then he's like, oh, there's a thin layer. Which I found a fun fact about the light in that scene before we get off of the ship. If my freaking phone would load. Oh, I was on Alien Covenant.
Would you get off that ship?
I'd have never got on that ship.
Not gonna lie, would never have gotten on that ship.
As soon as I saw the giant vagina-looking hole on the front of that ship, I've been like, I'm not going in there.
But if you had a chance to do deep space exploration, you wouldn't get on a ship and check it out?
If I'm getting paid for it, yeah. But if I'm not getting paid extra for it, I send the message back to the bosses and let them deal with it. I am here to run ore. I am not a scientist. I'm not a rescue guy. I'm not a research guy. That is not what I'm here for.
My man plays it by the book.
That's not what I'm getting paid to do. I'm getting paid to haul this ore back the hell home.
What if they had a box of new pants in there?
I wouldn't care.
My favorite
I can buy my own new pants when I get home, and they pay me. If I don't get home, I don't get paid. The only way I get paid is if I get home. I'm going home.
They might have been really nice pants.
The last moment I would have gotten the fuck out of there would have been like when I shined my light on the egg and it's moving. I would have gone, Goodbye.
I would have never gone in there. I
No,
would
but
have.
if there was the point of like no return and I'm down there and I'm like, oh look, there's eggs. But then as soon as like I shine a light on it and then it starts moving, I'll be like, oh,
You know what?
climb,
I think the moment I
climb.
would have seen eggs, I would have been like,
Oh yeah, that would have been done.
like, you're gonna be like eggs means there's something alive that laid those eggs. You know what I'm saying? Where there is a chicken, there is an egg, and when there is an egg, there is a chicken.
Those
rooster
were
crossed the
big
road.
eggs. Those were big eggs.
For the music fans here, the blue laser lights that were used in the alien ship's egg chamber were borrowed from the Who. The Who.
Who?
Yes.
The band was testing out the lasers for their stage show in the sound stage next door, so they borrowed them.
But yeah, man, you think we
That's
can use
neat.
those? Yeah, bro, test them out.
The Who's like, yeah.
I mean, that's awesome to be part of such, like, you know, you help create such, you know.
Actually,
Ash is an evil little
Oh,
robot
that's
bastard. Oh wait, spoilers. Because he
Yeah, if he doesn't eat, that's when he does the thing to the drink, right?
no, Ash just irritates me whenever I see him. Because Ripley's talking to him about like, hey, what else did Mother say? And then he's like, oh, nothing particular. And then we get the eggs. Oh, delicious. Oh wait, there's something in there. Oh, it's getting on my. Oh fuck.
yeah. Kane is about to get his face hugged.
And then we get the great wide shot of the ship. Because once you hear the whoosh, then it cuts to the outside of the ship.
I don't remember that, but that's okay.
Good. I like it. It's a good cut. Another moment where the women are right in this movie. Ripley was right. They should have stayed the hell in the airlock.
This place gives me the creeps. Famous last words.
And now we're in the ship, and the facehugger has attached itself to Kane. Oh, what a great defense! Acid blood.
Yeah, seriously.
Ripley is the only one who wants to keep the thing out, even if it means
Losing
Kane's life. Even if it means leaving Kane behind. She's like, no, F this.
Because she's a scientist, she's thinking logically. She's
not
like,
a
yo,
scientist.
Not. She just is. She's following the rules. She's like,
She's
protocol,
following protocol.
She's like, protocol says we don't let you in with a foreign object.
Right. Whereas Ash, who we learn later, all other directives secondary or whatever, lets him on.
As stated here, crew expendable, save the creature.
Right.
Then we get to it falls off,
Facehugger, let's go.
and then I'm like, where did it go? And then everyone's hunting and with little cow prods, and it's the first sort of jump scare in the movie, in my opinion.
that thing.
Yeah,
that thing is.
it does give you a little bit of a warning because you can see the rubbery tail fall down first, so you see it before the characters do.
But just like I just want to go like if I like worst use of a time machine ever to ever go back in time to a theater in 1979 just to watch a whole group of people just to watch this movie for the first time and see how like the facehugger falls down, it's just like there, and then the chest bursting scene, and just to see the alien evolve for the first time with a theater.
Oh, mine's being blown. Never
and
seeing that
everyone's
before
like, oh
ever.
my god!
Oh yeah, no, I can see that. I mean,
Just to go back and just like watch the all be like,
what the fuck did I just watch?
Instead, knowing that those eggs lead to facehuggers, which lead to
Yeah.
aliens.
Oh yeah, but
which-
like just never seeing that before at all. Like the effects in this movie were crazy.
it's like this. It's like to go back to the snap in the Avengers Infinity War and hear all the people just like, oh my god.
Spider-Man! He's Spider-Man! Go fuck yourself, little kid.
Ripley sticks her face in the facehugger's hidey hole. Has her face hugged. Credits.
The plus side about facehuggers is their one-time use.
All I can think
I
about.
forgot. I couldn't remember if that was the case or not.
Every time I see him, I think about headhumpers from Half-Life.
Oh, face crabs, head crabs.
Yes.
I assume they were
honestly
inspired by
didn't know what
those.
I was sitting there going, "You're going to say something ridiculous that I'm going to have to be like, what are you talking?"
There was in the late '90s, early 2000s. I played very close together. I forget if it was Half-Life or Half-Life 2. Maybe it was one and then the other, and Halo. And I was like, do all first-person shooters devolve into shooting at pineapple-shaped things that jump out at you from the dark?
Yeah.
Because that was a big part of both of those games.
Oh yeah.
And it was early days for like big console, like that type of console first-person shooters. Early days.
Lost my voice.
Oh no! Thank God it's back.
I agree with these people. They should freeze him, or shoot him out the airlock. Shoot him out the airlock.
Freeze Kane seems like a good idea. Stop progression of whatever it is that may or may not have infected him. It seemed like a really, really, really.
He said it when they instantly got in there. Like, why do we freeze him? I was like, that man is intelligent.
Logic.
I was like, why is nobody listening to him?
There's a couple of times people didn't listen to people now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's one of the big things.
It's just a terrible spiral downwards.
they're not company men or women. They don't follow proto.
Well, yeah, you would think that would have been. You'd think that would have been a drum that Ripley would have beat. Since like, okay, we've let them on. He's infected with something. Let's freeze him, transport him back home.
But I wonder if that was part of
they're
proto.
on their way back home anyway.
Was that part of proto?
No, I think it was
I think Ash would have gone along with that.
I think it was because she was no longer in charge. So she just like stuck in there, just stuck her nose in the ground.
Gotcha.
She was already not liked at this point for trying to kill Dallas, Kane, and Lambert.
You're right. So I think her being like, yo, freeze this motherfucker. Freeze this dude up. They probably would have been like, yo, shut up, you stupid broad. Maybe.
I don't know, but I think like because Dallas was upset and angry, I think then they were like, okay, we're already on the ship. Whatever. From there.
What do you think, Ty?
I think that cheeseburgers are good.
Like, do I think that this entire movie leads to Ripley becoming the powerful, strong female role model character that you get in Aliens, where she stands up for herself, well, that because she realizes near the end of this movie that she didn't do that, and that's how everybody died. She's like, I should have stuck to my guns, stayed this way, and then everybody might have lived. But because she didn't, I think that's where the change happens in this movie. It starts to happen when in the next coming scenes where she starts to develop and she starts to not trust the system, because the system sometimes lies. Like, the mother's not always on their side. Like, the company doesn't care about them. The company wants that thing.
Right, the company will absolutely sell us up the river if the price is right.
Yeah. The Last Supper sequence and the chestburster.
The chestburster has earned its name and escaped into some nook or cranny of the ship to jump out of the dark at a later time.
Are you about to say the same joke I'm about to have written down?
Probably.
I said, hello, my baby, hello, my hello, my ragtime gal.
I immediately sang it.
Me too.
Bee-ba-ba-boo-ba.
I was like, I'm going to write this down and say, Tyler's going to say it first.
It's like, I can't not bring it up.
That's a Spaceballs joke.
Not again.
And it's John Hurt. It's great.
John Hurt. That's why it's not again.
It's great. Oh, no.
What did he order? That's what I ordered.
This cat will be the death of everyone on this ship. This is why I hate cats.
Aw, Jones.
Because then what the hell's his name? Then one of the first tech guys goes off to find the cat.
Mumbles McGee.
Oh, Brett.
Yeah.
Brett goes back for the cat. Gets accosted by the xenomorph. Uh-oh, it's molted. It's getting bigger.
Then I have Say Hello to the Xenomorph, one of the most iconic characters in cinema.
That seems biologically, physiologically questionable, as it's not eaten anything, as far as we're aware.
It ate everything inside to John Hurt.
The fuels or material to grow.
That's
That's my note.
Next up, we get the famous air duct scene. And in the original cut, this is Bye Bye Dallas, but then Dallas comes back in the director's cut. Unless he came back in the original cut.
Nope. It was Bye Bye Dallas.
Okay, in the
Bye Bye Dallas.
In the director's cut, he comes back because it's the only thing that really doesn't make sense in my brain. So because there's no queen, so I don't know why we're doing this. Dallas was taken, and then they the alien has strapped him to the walls like they do with all the other prisoner aliens to be taken with eggs and have chest bursters come out of them. And then for some reason Ripley finds him and the guy you just said, Brett. He finds their bodies
right, because they're the two that die that die off screen. Yeah. And
he finds them in the gooey, like your average alien when you find out in Aliens, all this setting. And she has the flamethrower, and then she's like, Dallas. And then Dallas is like, kill me. And I'm like, why? There's no eggs. So there's not a chest burster.
Because he's in pain, or...
I was like, maybe he was killed, but then I'm like, typically the aliens, if they don't want you dead, if you're going to become, like, a host for an alien. Because they can't use dead things to create aliens. That's why they keep you alive. So it doesn't make sense that I was like, he's got to be at least somewhat alive. I don't know what happened to the rest of him, but I'm like, okay. And then Ripley burns him all to death. Then I'm like, oh, well, that's what happened to you. But I'm like, that doesn't make sense because I feel like we don't have a queen, so why are we doing this? So I think that's why it was cut for the director's cut. It's a cool scene, but it's sort of unnecessary and doesn't make sense with future logic in my brain. But
right, well, and I think it
maybe he's getting ready, and the xenomorph will turn into a queen, because that's the point of the second one is whenever there's not a queen, one will evolve.
Okay.
So maybe it could have evolved if given more time.
Right. Well, yeah, I think theoretically it could be that it needed to, like, once it's done gathering enough hosts, it'll change into the queen. And then the new chest bursters will burst forth and grow into little soldiers, and then those soldiers will go and gather more minions or gather more hosts, and then the cycle continues until you've taken over everything.
That's where I took the end sequence where it's just kind of laying there in the thing. I was like, maybe it's resting up so it can evolve again. That was what I was taking in. Like when it's in the escape pod and it's just kind of relaxing for a few minutes for the first time that you ever see an alien do that.
It's sleepy.
I was like, maybe that's it trying to get some, and then it's going to grow again.
Or it could be it's sleeping. It knows it needs to chill for a minute. It knows there's nowhere for it to go.
Yeah, so it's that's the only thing that I was thinking. But yes, Dallas dies in the air duct in the famous follow the bleep air duct scenes. And then
I loved when
our little chest burster has become a man. They grow up so fast, don't they?
I love when he turned to it. It's just like, wah!
Yeah.
And that's it. That's how that scene ends.
Yeah. That's great. I love it. We must all stick together. Now let's split up, gang.
Good job, Scooby-Doo
You
gang.
come with me.
No, my favorite is they all go different directions. I'm like, so no one's learned to listen. Like the one guy's like, I'm gonna get more fuel for this, and then she's like, Ash, go with him, and he's like, no, I got it. And then he goes by himself, and then she goes to check on Mother, and Ash is left alone, and Lambert goes somewhere else by herself. I'm like, great,
Probably
it's like the Scooby-Doo gang. Like,
Lambert, I'm pretty sure went through like 20 boxes of tissues in this movie.
Lambert lost her mind.
They should have sacrificed her. All she did was cry. She was dead weight.
Now Ripley gets the message from Mother that says, "Save the creature. Crew's expendable." And then Ash pops up and goes, "I can explain."
This future computer is less advanced than the teleporter computer from The Fly.
Yep.
That's all I have to. That's not all I have to say, but because at one point she's asking, or somebody, I forget if it's Dallas or Ripley.
Ripley's asking because you don't really see Dallas interact with it that much.
She's asking it a bunch of questions, and it's like, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. It's like, man, the Fly computer, you could have verbally asked it that question, and whether it knew the answer or not, it would have given you an answer. Because that's how good that computer was.
Then my next note is Ash goes crazy. Robot
Oh my
that spills
God.
the beans about everything.
He made the best noises too. There
They
was
didn't know Ash was
parts-
an android. Oh, you forgot the TT count of 2.
What?
Or did Tyler forget the TT
Tyler
count?
missed the TT count of 2.
That's Tyler's job.
Did I miss because I went and grabbed like a sloppy Joe?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Did you?
God damn it!
Maybe.
Whose boobs did I miss?
Well, they're very in the vein of
oh, that's art. We consider that wall art. We don't count the wall art.
we don't count, but the initial TTs were wall art.
Yeah, that's what.
We can't not count wall art.
Yeah.
Were they really?
Yes.
The original
Yes.
TTs in Tombstone.
We're
wall art.
Bro, it's like drinking hot drinks on a hot day. It just doesn't happen.
I was surprised they counted, but you counted them. So
I don't remember.
the original TT count.
Wow.
Tombstone was a while
Go
ago.
back and add it in.
Tombstone was a long while ago.
But yeah, there's some scantily clad, topless ladies on a locker wall or something.
Yeah, it's
Or
one
like
of it's one of their
somebody's
like,
lockers
We
or a
call
bunk
them
room or something.
hewers.
They call them what?
Hewers.
And then my Ash is trying to jam a magazine down Ripley's throat.
I was like, is he gonna choke her with that? Like, is he
Yeah.
gonna put it across her neck and try to strangle her with it?
Nah.
No, he's gonna shove that in her mouth.
Yep, he's gonna do something else. Then one of my favorite just moves is the big dude comes up behind Ash, grabs him, and then Ash turns his one arm, just grabs him in the chest.
Kalima!
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Oh yeah. I mean, I
I was laughing my ass off.
I think what made Ash scary was also the fact that like Bilbo doesn't look intimidating, and then you see that like it doesn't matter what you look like, you're an android, you're gonna just fuck people up.
I had 2 points in this movie where I laughed pretty good, and it was the time when you saw the alien in the air duct and it went Wah! and then when Ash made his crazy robot noises.
It would have been great if it would have been like, does not compute. Error.
I just laughed.
It's so good. And then I miss a lot of notes because I was watching the movie. Then I was like, oh, Ripley's all alone.
They just switched from a fake head to a real head. They thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. 3 crew members left. They're going to take their chances with the shuttle because the shuttle wouldn't take 4, but apparently it will take 3.
Well, now they've officially just like, well, fuck this, let's go.
And that's an interesting thing. If the shuttle won't take 4, what's the point? Like, if it's a lifeboat, shouldn't it take all 7?
Yeah. Bad design. The Space Titanic.
Oh, it's not so simple as start self-destruct, go to shuttle, and get away. Of course it isn't.
We gotta go find Jones.
They have to go get coolant, and that Elijah alludes to that.
They have to go get shit and...
Yeah, so...
You don't think this stuff would be readily available to buy?
I don't know why
The-
they had to... Then
Or
she
you
doesn't
would-
go back to get it. That's the thing that drove me
And
nuts.
that's the other thing.
Like,
is
she
that
didn't
Ripley
need it.
Ripley leaves without it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I don't know if she just went, fuck it,
Or were they trying to take it out so that it would blow up?
No, they needed the coolant.
No, they need the coolant to make re-entry, or she said they needed the coolant for something.
Yeah.
But it's because they're like talking over each other, trying to
Gotcha.
get off the boat because they're all dying.
Rock the boat, no, rock the boat, baby.
They're it's really fast talk, and it's not super
Gotcha.
easy to follow.
So is
I
that
have
why
to-
she like just heads for like the frontier? She called it instead of trying to get straight to Earth with the shuttle, or is
The shuttle couldn't reach Earth because it was like another... They were only like
they were only halfway back?
So the life support, I don't know how all that works. So I'm
Yeah, well, it's not
because
they don't go into it here.
because they get found. That's how the ship gets found in Aliens. So
Yeah, the idea is
you just
head
go out
towards
there,
the
put a
shipping
signal.
lane. Head towards like we're over here in backcountry. I need to get back out here to the main drag.
And
So
someone
maybe you're right.
So that somebody will, stick out a thumb metaphorically.
Yeah, maybe.
And hopefully somebody will find us.
Yeah, maybe you were right with the frontier, as in like maybe that's a description of like where the shipping section is, where like all that, and they're out in a separate back lane area of the frontier.
Because I mean, it takes years to get from
Well, you don't know how long.
point A to point B. Because don't they talk about that in later on in Aliens that like they're going through like it's taking a minute to get.
Well,
they based on where they said it would be 6 months before they got home.
Yeah.
In the halfway point, so I'm assuming it's about a year trip to wherever they were in Alien to there. So I have no idea from there. But yes, they do go somewhere because they go in hypersleep. And then I have let's blow this popsicle stand. when we go in, she has to go back to turn it off. She tries to go back and turn it off. And then I had to Google why she did that. Because I was like, I've always been curious. Why did she go back? Because she went back to go turn off the... She went back to turn off the countdown, and then I realized, oh, because the alien was blocking her way.
Right.
I was like, well, that was a stupid-ass answer that I could have figured out on my own.
Why are you doing that?
I thought it was going to be
dummy?
something else.
Well, I don't... My brain went, if she couldn't get off, then she just would be like, okay, we'll just blow the ship
Yeah,
up
but like, there's
with
point in
me
times
on it.
where
But
like,
I think she was, but I guess she was like, I can live, so let's do that. But I'm like, what if it catches you after you turned it off?
Then it doesn't. Then
the company wins.
Well, no. Realistically,
The alien wins.
no. Realistically, nobody wins because. Well, I guess if the company knew, if Ash was able to tell the company that they got the critter, they would.
send someone
Although
to
I
get it
guess if they didn't come back, they would send a rescue because they know that they found the.
But how long is
Although-
that how long is that
Well,
waiting
the ship
period?
was still going
I guess
towards
that-
Earth. So at the end of the day, the ship would have went to Earth with the alien in it, and the company would have had the alien and been groovy.
Well, would they have known the alien was in there though? You know what I mean?
They knew the alien because it said save the creature, forget the crew. So you're assuming that Ash told them that the creature's there.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, and that's the other. It's
Did they get
or not the question, but a question is how much communication is happening when they deal with Mother. Is Mother communicating with the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, or is Mother just the AI boss that is programmed for almost every contingency plan and knows?
I think Mother's for Weyland-Yutani.
I feel it felt to me like there was communication happening. But
Is he related to Taka Waititi?
Did you say taco?
Sky Pierce. If you're curious, is Weyland-Yutani.
Okay.
well, he's Weyland, isn't he?
He's Weyland. Huh?
Because it's two corporations, the Weyland Corporation and the Yutani Corporation.
right.
At one point, they merge and become the Weyland-Yutani Corporation.
Don't forget the cat!
Meow.
Because she has to go back. Jonesy. I'm like, fucking cat.
Dude, she chucked that box like so many
That
times.
cat had a concussion. That's what I say all the time. Because she's like, has a cat, and it's swinging around, and she's hitting doors, and I'm like, that cat either A, hates her, B, is gonna kill her.
No,
C,
it's a
that
space.
cat's dead.
It's a space box, so it's pretty cushioned. So the cat's like,
No wonder that cat growled every time it got stuck in there.
Yeah, she's like, fuck.
I was like, that cat is either has a bad concussion or is dead.
It's used its time
Must
lives.
not go back in the box of seclusion.
To the shuttle to safety? Question mark. So now we're in the shuttle, and it takes off. There goes the ship. Boom. There goes the Nostromo. And then she thinks she's all good. She puts the cat in the little thing to go to sleep. And
then she's like, oh, fuck, it's right here.
then she, is just like, all right, time to relax, take off my clothes. I'm just going to bed. And then there's
Show a
the
little
alien.
bit of butt crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing. When I saw that, I was freaked out. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like it made. I feel like it gave that alien. Like it was. Oh yeah, this thing is like an apex predator.
Aliens are great. Then we get the alien just kind of resting there for a little bit, and I was like, this is odd. But it's in the script. I was like, all right. That's when I processed that. I was like, maybe it's getting ready to do the Queen evolution.
He had a big day. He killed a lot of people.
He did.
He burst out of someone's chest.
Did they explain why he was resting?
Evolved.
No. I also didn't Google it. But I am assuming that that the alien was hiding. And then...
Right, it could be it was just hiding, and it was laying in wait until an opportunity arose, and it didn't know it had been discovered yet.
But you don't think it would have hidden in a way that it knew it wouldn't be found? Like,
no, but
maybe it didn't know,
so it didn't know.
Right, it didn't have a lot of options.
I mean, you think the alien was smart enough to be like, yo, if I kill this thing right now, it's a loser situation?
No, I don't think that at all.
Maybe.
I mean, don't you think that, like, it could have been super tired from all the shit that it was, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, I assume that it's exerting so much energy that's why I was killing so many people. Not only to hunt, but, like, I gotta kill you to keep on moving. Because if not, I mean, I just, I get this face sucker's on me for, like, 5 minutes, you know what I mean? And then I evolve. Like, it's, like, rapidly, its lifespan gets shorter, just like a housefly. You know what I mean?
I'll go with the book theories about how aliens work. Is the plus side of aliens is they don't need to rest.
Okay.
They don't need to eat. They just thrive to make more dangerous creatures.
Oh, they're wasps is what they are. They're just assholes.
Not really wasps. I call them more ants.
Okay.
But because that's the perk of the aliens, is that's why everybody wants them, is because they don't have to rest, they don't have to eat, they just go. And they kill, and then they make more aliens. That's how they do it. They bring back hurt bodies to make more aliens, and then that's how it all goes. Cycle continues. But I think that maybe it takes time to become a queen. That's why I was like, maybe that's what was happening, or I'm thinking too much into this, and it was just trying to hide, and somehow Ripley was a ninja and was able to not be noticed.
But I thought it took a nappies.
Yeah, what I'm saying, it's like I feel like in that situation it would be like, oh yeah, if I go to sleep now and it finds me, I could.
But they don't need to sleep. That's the perk of the aliens.
Well, that's the point of the aliens now. Was it the perk of the aliens then?
That's what I'm saying. Is that I'm just going with what I'm.
Yeah, because
I'm just going with some written stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah, because it's like it would have noticed. I mean, that thing like should have noticed her if it wasn't sleeping. If it, you know what I mean, like
that's why I'm going with it was trying to turn it to the queen theory. Because if it did the Dallas scene, then maybe it was going. Then it was like, okay, we're ready to start populating, and we need a queen, so I'm going to become the queen. So that's at least what that because otherwise I have to then look at the other movies and be like, okay, then why don't they just rest and then wait for them to sleep? But she shoots it with the spear gun after opening the hatch, and it grabs the hatch, and it's outside. And I'm like, it's still alive? Can it breathe in space?
Wouldn't it freeze?
The better question is why didn't it just immediately melt through the harpoon head?
That was what I was
like,
saying.
how is it the cable worked? Like, how did the cable work long enough for it to stop and get over in front of the engine? Like, it should have just blown out into space. Like, if I had no problem with the harpoon gun knocking it
out into space,
but then it should have just continued out into space because the acid blood would have melted the cable, if nothing else. And considering it melted through 3 layers of
that's when I was like,
in no time.
I was like, the blood got on that ship and is now currently melting the engine. Because it's in like the engine hole, and I'm like, if it has a hole in it, it's bleeding, and I'm like, oh, there goes some of that engine.
Now, do you think it's immune to its own acid, like since it's inside of it? But like, if it's if it hits air, like
no, it wouldn't burn it because obviously it's blood.
But well, okay, you're right. No, because I was like, wait, doesn't it hurt them? Because it's like, but then I remember the aliens were stabbing the other alien for it to bleed.
I have stomach acid in my belly that would burn me if I
if it got ruptured.
In my hands.
Yeah.
That's true, but then you're right about that scene. where I forget which movie it was, but they all look at one alien and they all start stabbing it to make it bleed so that it bleeds through the ship and they can escape. That's resurrection.
I think I remember that. I may have seen part of that one.
Because that one was like, yeah, this dude's getting smarter.
But yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
buy
it
that
should
in.
have just
Yeah.
they should have just drifted out into space and frozen, as Tyler pointed out.
As
Yes.
Lewis pointed out.
As somebody pointed out. It should
Your
have
old
just
man
drifted
brain's
out
getting
into-
closer to my old man brain.
Drifted out into space and froze. And
Here's what we can all go with.
Credits.
Maybe as it went into space, it froze the wound, so then it got stuck there.
Or do you think it was just maybe the technology at that time is that like it
Or
goes
they
through so like the harpoon is just going so hot that it cauterizes the wound, just like in
I'd go
Predator.
more like it frozen than that.
And that's where we get the first signs of Predator. You know what I mean? Like, because they're like, this is a wild reference here, but it cauterizes that wound, and that's how we know that. You know what I mean? Like those two creatures exist.
But yeah. So that ship should have broke. Is how I was like, yep, there goes the blood. I was like, did we forget that this thing has acid blood? But then I was like, they were probably not thinking that there's going to be any more of these, and that anyone's going to sit here and think about this that much.
Yeah.
well,
they were
no,
wrong.
actually, zero gravity.
Yeah, to Ken's point. If it was bleeding, it'd just be a bubble sitting in the air.
Or
Yeah,
it
but
would-
you
or
could-
it would be drifting that way because
the vacuum's sucking it out.
well, no, because they're going that way, so the blood would be bleeding behind it in a straight line. It wouldn't go down.
It'd go over.
It would go back. So
Wow, that just
so
sucks.
so the acid blood is not really a concern.
Well,
Alright, there we go.
that,
We solved
that
the
would
problem.
that would really suck to just be in your spaceship driving down in the middle of space. Bam! Acid hits.
I found the shortcut.
Acid hits your windshield, and you're like, "What's that?" Dead.
That would suck.
Like just man, this alien's a dick.
I was impressed it lasted that long in space.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that frightened me. I was like, now they can't even die in space? That sucks. I was like, now that one alien lands on another planet, becomes a queen, and just kills everybody. That was my current thought.
Yay!
But yeah,
World domination!
that is Alien. And a lot of other Aliens movies that we talked about.
Yeah.
Talked about a lot.
Do you want to
Read
rate
it.
all of them in one?
No.
We don't have that much time.
Because then I can't do them all.
I haven't seen them all, so we can't really punch all of them
Yeah.
at once.
Elijah could,
I could.
but we don't have that much time.
Why? The internet ran out of time.
No, but we have to sleep.
Who sleeps?
Some of us have to work tomorrow.
I have to work tomorrow.
Yay!
Yay!
Who wants to Robot Punch first?
Tyler, since you were so
Yeah, since you're gung-ho, got places to be, you gotta work tomorrow. Wait, you're the only dick that doesn't work tomorrow, you asshole.
Why was I gung-ho about going
You're like, we don't got time.
we don't have time. I edit this 9 minutes. Oh, guys, come on. That's your Tyler voice. Independence Day.
He's editing that out. We all know it. He's gonna make himself sound smarter.
No, I'm leaving that bit in, but the whole nonsense in between till we start the podcast is going to be gone.
That was good stuff.
What were we talking about? What was in
But
between?
you're up,
It
Tyler.
doesn't matter.
I'm going to give it a 4.
Nice.
Partially because I think if I give it a 3, Elijah will reach across the table and beat me senseless. But no, I was enjoyable. I was impressed with how well it looked for being a movie from 1979. It aged well, and was enjoyable.
Ken?
I agree with Tyler's 4. I think it's a pretty solid, pretty good movie. I don't know that there's time for me to talk about how it's interesting that these 4 classic old sci-fi movies all have at least a little bit of horror elements to them. Predator the least, because it's
Really?
more.
I
It's
thought
more.
Terminator would have had more less than horror things than Predator.
No, I feel like the Terminator has more in common with Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers than.
I would have thought that the Predator would have, because
Then
he's a sneaky
the
little
Predator
creature
does.
as opposed to a robot.
Yeah, but it's the whole unstoppable force of nature thing. It's the whole like you can't stop Jason Voorhees. You can't stop Michael Myers. All you can do is run. You can't stop the Terminator. All you can do is run from it. Whereas you can, as we learned, you can make the Predator bleed. If it bleeds, you can kill it.
All right, I can get behind that.
So Predator.
If I take the Terminator as like a whole unit, as like if you kill this one Terminator, another Terminator is just coming after you, sort of.
Oh yeah, like
I can get behind that.
nice.
Like the idea of the endless cycle of just like you have to always watch your back, sort of thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Like
Fly.
Jason Voorhees.
Fly is obviously body horror, not conventional horror, but and then this is also horror because she's on the she's and actually I remember this, or I should say I was misremembering that this movie. I forgot that there were 7 people that started, and that as many people lasted as long as they did. I remember, or it seemed to me that, and maybe I'm just thinking that maybe I'm just thinking about Alien Isolation, the video game, is like I was thinking that this movie was more Ripley alone, and that's really only the very end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it? It's in that way it has more in common with The Shallows, where it's one determined, focused individual surviving against what the ultimate killing machine, the perfect predator, essentially, or not necessarily the perfect, but the ultimate predator, something that is intent on ending it. But yeah, but to stop my rabbit trail 4.
I give this movie a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Not only that, but I think the style of it just made this era of like cyberpunk. Like seeing this movie and the way they dress reminds me so much of Cowboy Bebop, and like just the coolness of what like space is. I also enjoyed the other movies that came from this movie. Like I really enjoyed Prometheus. Like that's like one of my favorite movie from the franchise, and how this creature just came to happen, and it's one of those movies where it scared me. Like it's very iconic. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for me.
I have to go 5 out of 5 also.
Boy, I didn't see that coming.
This is your 3rd favorite movie of all time.
No,
if
it's
you're not
not.
giving it a 5.
It's not my first favorite movie of all time.
But you said that at the beginning of the movie.
Aliens is my first favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
Aliens.
So where is this one?
It's definitely top 25.
Nice. But why?
But because I haven't placed that far, I know my top 3 favorite movies of all time has been Happy Gilmore, Aliens, Jurassic Park. Weird combination of films, but sure. But I like Ripley's one of my favorite characters in movies of all time. She did so much for women characters. She is a powerful, strong female role model character throughout the entirety of the series that she's in. And Sigourney Weaver plays her so well. It's great. It's great. And it also breaks a bunch of horror movie tropes. The African American gentleman does not die first. So he lives towards the end. He's one of the last 3 people alive. And the alien is just... If I could have a statue of something that's a big life-size statue, it would be of a xenomorph alien in my house. It'd be either that or Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
I'm imagining them both in the corners right now.
It's good to imagine.
Just life size. Everybody throwing for a fat head.
But yeah, I really like Alien. It sets up a lot of things. It leads to some of my favorite books that I've read, which are Alien vs. Predator books. The video games are a pain in my butt, so that's the only problem with the Alien franchise is I suck at video games. But other than that, 5. And it's probably my favorite Ridley Scott movie. And then it's probably followed by The Martian, which I watched in the same week. But yeah.
That's our robot punches.
Yeah. So what would we rate our favorites of the sci-fi movies that we did this month? Since that's what we did.
Well, I didn't watch Terminator.
Well, you're a terrible person.
Aliens, The Fly.
Oh yeah, you only watched 2.
Because I get confused with the Terminator.
Am I missing one?
You didn't watch Predator?
Terminator.
No, I did watch Predator.
I watched
I was talking about
Predator.
it.
Terminator, Alien, Predator, The Fly.
I would say, because I like the Predator too. So
I would
the
s-
Terminator and the Predator, just go with the both at number 5.
I'd have to say Alien, the Predator, then the Fly.
Alien, Predator, Terminator, Fly, probably. Yeah. But yeah, especially for rewatchability. I've seen the Alien like 3 times now on the big screen. I paid to see that a whole bunch of times. Whenever they do an AMC release of it, I go watch it. But yeah, since we're over about an hour and a half almost, I don't think I have time for any other news besides the sad loss of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, I was gonna say, quick R.I.P.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Chadwick
R.I.P.
Boseman.
We need a moment of silence there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
we
big
do.
moment of silence.
Chadwick was a deeply kind and gentle person that will forever be an irreplaceable piece missing from our Marvel family.
He's a historical figure as the Black Panther, but also such a good and decent human being.
To all of those little kids that love Black Panther and look to T'Challa as their hero, just know that the guy who played him is an even bigger hero in real life.
Yeah, that man did it awful. That man fought for 4 years with colon cancer and brought so many joys to other people.
Oh yeah.
I was listening to a podcast, and the co-host realized that this guy, in a large way, rose to prominence the whole time he was
Fighting cancer.
Like the whole time he was he was doing all of these iconic roles, and you know his career was on the way upswing. He was fighting colon cancer the whole time.
Yeah. And like the fact
It's
that
incredible, this guy.
Oh yeah, I mean to be like that physically fit, you know what I mean, to take these demanding roles and to fight cancer at the same time. I mean,
Yeah, and then just to like
the drive.
he took time out of like his day from like being sick, and then he went to visit sick kids,
Yeah.
and he just like took time to do so much good work for people. It's just
A true
big
hero
loss.
never showing his like own weakness.
Yeah, he no one knew. It was a shock.
Yeah.
Like Marvel came out and was like, we had no idea. And then there's just been all these like tweets online and all this like, this dad was watching Black Panther with his kid, and he's like, so Dad, while he was making this movie, he had colon cancer. That's amazing, because that entire movie is just him,
Yeah.
and I got action sequences and
Oh yeah, no.
insane.
He's getting beat up
Yeah.
by Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So R.I.P.
Yeah, I learned
Chadwick
a
Boseman.
lot about him in the past few days.
Yeah, he played Jackie Robinson. He played James Brown. He played. I keep forgetting the frickin' first name of Marshall.
I don't know what that one was.
The movie's Marshall, but I keep forgetting his first name, and that's what was my problem. He was this huge lawyer that fought for African American rights, and he played the role, and I'm trying to write it up. I want to get it right before I...
Did they already start filming for Black Panther 2?
Thurgood Marshall. He played Thurgood.
Damn it! I was gonna say that.
You should have said it.
I should have said that, and then
Edit yourself in. Edit yourself in saying that. Thurgood Marshall, and then put this in and be like, "That's why I did it."
But yeah, he just played so many iconic roles. It's crazy, and then to bring a hero to life on the screen, and some of the loudest chants you hear when you first watch Endgame. Or even Infinity War, like the loudest audible gasps and cries when Black Panther fades away, and then when he comes back in Endgame, it's crazy, and it's just this big loss for just the community because he's generally a good human being apparently from everyone's talking about. So, R.I.P. Put it in the moment of silence, Tyler.
That's 2 this episode.
Yep. Because no one else knew that Ian Holmes had died.
I knew that, but forgot.
What happened to the moment of silence? Are we going to be quiet?
No, he's going to add it in.
We add that in.
Okay.
He adds it in. He has music.
You've ruined it.
I'm sorry.
That's what editing's for, Lewis.
But yeah, now it's that time of night.
Is that time of night, Ken?
I guess so.
It's that time of night. It's that time of night. It's that time of night. It's that time of night.
It's that time of night. You go to our website, www.thepostermanpodcast.com. You can go to our email and send us movie suggestions at thepostermanpodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at thepostermanpod. Instagram, The Posterman Podcast. Facebook, The Posterman Podcast. Letterboxd, The Posterman Pod. And we're on YouTube, The Posterman.
Time of night. It's that time of night.
Lewis, do you like my coffee thing?
Yeah.
You can get one of these on our website if you click on the merch store.
Confused me.
It was that time of night. It was that time of night.
You bastard. But yeah. Everyone should donate to the St. Jude Children's Foundation in Chadwick Boseman's honor. That's what I think that he would appreciate if you enjoyed that. That's what I did. So
I saw Geeky Jerseys brought back their Black Panthers jersey, and cut of all the sales goes to colorectal cancer research.
But yeah. So yeah, St. Jude, or buy the jerseys. That's a good thing too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see you all next month for our average American podcast known as The Posterman.
Well, next month will be this month.
It's that month now. It is that month now.
Yeah.
Our months don't really line up with months.
No, they don't.
No.
Especially when Tyler forgets to edit, then now he has to do. Now we're behind.
You son of a gun.
You son of a bitch, Tyler! Oh, wait, that's me.
All right, we'll see y'all next time.
Goodbye.
Wakanda forever.
Good night, everybody.